We are tracking a snowstorm through New England right now. This will bring some light accumulations to many in the Northeast. And then we're going to take a deep dive into the upcoming active weather pattern that could bring more snow, flooding, and severe weather. I'm telling you, buckle up because it's about to get interesting. Welcome back, y'all. Ryan Hall here with the weather forecast, and here's our little snowstorm we predicted. As you can see, it's bringing snow showers to many in the Northeast, including people in Scranton, Pennsylvania, all the way as far west as Williamsport, all the way down into Harrisburg. And look at this, the snow is trying to snow in Baltimore right now. I don't have any ground reports just yet, but I would say that there's definitely some sort of rain-snow mix. But look, the Washington, D.C. snow hole prevails. I don't know why Washington, D.C. can't get snow. I don't understand it. There is no science behind it. It's just you guys can't get snow. I'm so sorry, but it does look like right now you may be getting a couple snowflakes, but I do believe that the heaviest precipitation is going to stay off to your north, and that rain snow line's not going to dip any further south. Up here in North Jersey near Edison, all the way up towards Wayne and New City, New York, you guys are going to get some snow. It's not going to be significant, but this is probably going to be a mostly snow event for you. Now, New York City, that's a different story. You might end up like Washington, D.C. and get a couple flakes, but it won't amount to much. And the same goes for Boston, Hartford, and Providence, okay? So this is what our snowstorm looks like right now as I'm filming it. Let's take a look at the future on the weather models. All right, this is the high resolution rapid refresh model, and currently we're looking at 1 p.m. That's around the time this video is going to go up, and it looks like North Jersey is going to be seeing snow, and still southeast Pennsylvania near Philadelphia, you're going to be seeing snow. You're going to be right on the edge of that rain snow line though. So once again, it's not going to amount to much, but let's put this into motion and let's track this thing all the way out. Look, there's a little warm bubble there. It's not going to get very snowy in Boston, Hartford, and Providence. Like I was saying, everybody along the coast here is just having to deal with that warm Atlantic Ocean just ruining their chances for snow. But look at western Massachusetts there getting in on some heavy snow, and that moves all the way up into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine with maybe some backside snow squalls coming off the lakes here. Look out for that in eastern Pennsylvania and upstate New York. These can really pack a punch when they come through. Once again, snow totals, we're not looking at a whole lot here. The HRRR notoriously is over aggressive with moisture. We're looking at a widespread area of 2 to 4 inches here with embedded areas of maybe 5 inches, 6 inches here and there. It's quite a bit different if you're off the lake up here in upstate New York with that lake effect snow. There's obviously going to be some people that get buried with snow up there. And once again, 2 to 4 inches all the way up through here onto Maine with just some very isolated areas that get more than that. South of the snow showers here, we've got some pretty heavy rain showers and some thunderstorms happening all the way down as far south as Florida. But watch what happens as we put this into motion. A squall line of possibly severe thunderstorms form in Virginia and North Carolina. This is around 3 or 4 o'clock today. There's going to be a pretty intense line of thunderstorms that's going to be going through the Virginia Beach area, all the way down into North Carolina, Wilmington, that area. Raleigh may even see some storms. The Storm Prediction Center does have a marginal risk for severe weather today in this area, so watch out, especially for those damaging straight line winds, because if this wasn't to verify and you look at the radar later and it shows this long line of thin showers and storms heading towards you, there's more than likely a cold pool of air behind that driving forward some really intense winds, so be prepared for that. Okay, let's start talking about the medium range forecast and see what's going to happen in the future. Right now, we're taking a look at the Euro model. As you can see, we've got some misplaced warm air that's going to be moving to the south and east, and that's going to keep a lot of us on the East Coast warm for a little bit. And we've got a southeast ridge that's staying in place over here, and it's going to get really warm down here. But watch this area over here, okay? We've got some cooler and drier air that's pooling up over here in the southwest, and that's going to be a big driving component of what moves our weather in the future, okay? So let's put this into motion. I don't want to spend too much time on these temperature anomalies, but I do want to look at them, okay? Here's that misplaced warm air going into the New England area. Once again, it's going to be warmer than average, not necessarily warm, but watch our southeast ridge here, okay? It really stays in place. There's a little area of cold air that tries to swing through the center part of the United States, and it tries to infiltrate our southeast ridge, but no, we're staying much above normal down here, and that actually gets pretty intense as we head into February 26th, 27th. Look at this warm air down here, and then look at this cold air back here, okay? A little weather 101 for you. Weather tends to happen around damn boundaries, okay? So as you can see, we got warm air down here, cold air up here, and the area in between, this area right in here is the area you need to watch for storms to form. As I put this on into motion, that boundary just intensifies, and this is just going to provide a train track for storms to form and either go this way or go this way. But look at that warm air, man. In Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Tennessee, this is spring, guys. This is spring trying to come up into the central part of the United States. And we've got our cool air still back here on March 1st, just working to create that boundary, that train track for storms to just ride across as we go forward, okay? Now let's take a look at the GFS and see if it sees any of that happening. Here's our storm that's moving through right now. As you can see, that's pretty much what it's going to look like as it moves through. 4 p.m. all the way out into 4 a.m. tonight, that's going to be gone. We do have a low pressure system up here moving through Canada that's going to bring some snow showers to Michigan, all the way up into northern Pennsylvania, upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Especially if you're off the lakes here, there's going to be some pretty intense northwest flow going on all the way out into the more central regions of New England as we go forward. And there's another little clipper right there on the 24th of February, bringing a little bit of snow to Maine and Michigan. Now, here's where we got to start watching what's going on. Look at our little bubbling up of moisture here. This is an area of showers and thunderstorms that's popping up on February 26th, and then that moves off to the east, okay? And that may try to merge with the storm system up here and cause a little bit of snow once again for the northeast, but it's not looking like anything too significant right now. But look, right after that, we're dealing with another insurgence of moisture here in Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. And that moves on up into Tennessee and Kentucky, and it just keeps back building down here. And now we're dealing with a possible flooding situation. But that's not all. Look at this. We've got an actual big snowstorm forming up here in the Great Plains from Colorado all the way up into Canada. We've got heavy snow now in eastern Nebraska, northwestern Iowa, southeastern Minnesota, and northern Wisconsin. And once again, a little wave forming here that will try to move east. And then check this out. As I push this forward, look, that low pressure system is following the boundary, just like I said it would. Weather 101, son. And now we're dealing with that heavy rain in the Ohio Valley. But check this out. This low pressure system has created a boundary that's interacting with more energy down here in the south. And we've got a new low pressure system forming. Once again, right here around Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. If this was to verify, once again, we're talking about some severe flooding going on. And then look at that. Got possibly another southern snowstorm going on the backside, a deformation band forming in Oklahoma and Texas, as we've got another snowstorm on our hand with this low pressure system really cranking down some cold air behind it. And in front of it, once again, I do want to mention that there's probably a pretty good chance for some severe weather there, where this is the March 1st time frame. We're going to have that really warm air available down here. We're going to have this colder air available back here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. But the snow portion of it goes all the way through Indiana, Ohio, and then into the northeast. This looks like a pretty good snowstorm for northwest Ohio, all the way up into upstate New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. And right there, we're looking at is that a 980 millibar low pressure system? You're talking about some blizzard conditions in Maine on March 3rd, if this was to verify. This is older data, but we're looking for patterns here, son. So let's kick it back a little bit and let's look at that severe weather threat once again, because this one might actually be our first significant one of the year. I should say widespread significant, because we've definitely had, good threats so far this year. But as you can see, our first area of storms pops up on the 28th of February, and then we just get inundated by rain down there. And then that secondary low pressure system, I think that's the most interesting one, as it has more cold air to work with behind it, and it's really accessing that Gulf moisture as the low is closer to the ocean. And then that'll be interesting even as it moves into the Dixie Alley region and then up into the Mid-Atlantic region. So the first thing I look at when forecasting severe weather is the dew point. And yes, we do have that warm, moist air in place over here in eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, specifically eastern Texas and Louisiana here, though. That's the greatest area of interest for me. And as you can see, as that low pressure system goes by, it really brings that colder, drier air in behind it and creates a boundary here. Once again, boundaries, man. We gotta love them boundaries. If you want to see anything happening with the weather, you got to look for those boundaries, okay? And then that moves all the way through, once again, Dixie Alley into the southeast and the Mid-Atlantic region. And then we also have to look at the jet stream. Look here, we've got it kinked down all the way down into Texas right here, with a pretty strong stream turning up right here in Texas and Oklahoma right here. That's exactly where we've been looking at. And if this was to verify, that would be a pretty concerning image to see, because we would definitely be talking about the ability to have lift out here for thunderstorms to occur, and possibly even have some shear for rotation as these storms move forward. And look at that. That is a buckle in the jet stream if you've ever seen one. And then also we've got to look at vorticity, and look here, we've got a positive relatively tilted vorticity max with some extreme areas of vorticity right there in the Oklahoma region. And once again, this tells me that there's definitely going to be the ability, the opportunity for lift in the atmosphere out in front of it. So outside of the snowstorms, this is something else that we really have to pay attention to. We're getting into springtime, guys. Severe weather is a thing. It's not all just about the snowstorms, all right? And then as we push this forward, you can see that continue all the way through the mid-Atlantic region. And yeah, interesting stuff. And that's all the weather talk I have for you today. Guys, talking about potentially severe weather coming up has got me really excited for storm chasing this spring. In fact, I downloaded a video game called Storm Chasers, and I've been kind of playing around with it. So it's actually a fun game. And I'm thinking about possibly streaming the gameplay of this on Twitch. I do have a Twitch channel. The link is in the description if you want to follow that. But I'm mostly interested in hearing what you think. Would you watch me play that game? I love doing the live streams. I love hanging out with you guys, but I don't want to do public live streams here on this YouTube channel unless there's severe weather going on or something like that. So I think Twitch would be a good place to play, you know, a game or something and just kind of hang out. Let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see that. Also, as you can tell, we're heading into a very active pattern. More snowstorms are coming. Severe weather outbreaks, unfortunately, are coming. So make sure you are subscribed to this channel so you never miss anything and you're always up to date on the weather, okay? I appreciate you all for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.